recording. We can definitely this is definitely something to work with to go over for sure though. I should make sure this thing is actually recording and keeping my voice. Okay, perfect. We're good. All right. I will copy. There's definitely going to be some stuff here. I'm going to go ahead and tell you now. The good thing about a video, a VOD like this is there is a lot of information that I can go over because in order for something like this to happen, it's going to be like there's fundamental aspects that you can work on. I'm just gonna stop it real fast. I'm gonna stop the replay just so I can double check and make sure I'm looking at. Okay. Well, never mind. This could be just a fluke. All right. So here's your issue. Um, your bans are bad. I mean, and when I say your bans are bad, I mean you can't let this fuck in your game. This fuck right here, you can't let him in your game. Because with him being in the game, the entire game state is warped. You will automatically lose this game because this guy is in your game, aka Hawkeye, and what he's gonna do is he's gonna force your team to play around him, which means the only way that this guy dies is if your team can either A, out snipe him, or B, your team could somehow out dive him and like make it so he can't play the game. Strange could hold up a shield, so that is relevant, right? Thor could play backline. Um, Maybe she can get her shit from down there. But because you let this guy in your game, you probably lose because of this. This guy right here will warp the entire game state and turn this entire game on its upside down. This is a failure of balance, but also a failure of bans. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is why. Why are your bans? Hold on. Let's get into this for a second. Let's look at this. Let me look at this. So this could come down to this replay being worthless, and you just let Hawkeye through. You cannot let Hawkeye through. You just can't. After he gets nerfed on like Thursday, which is like tomorrow, maybe you can start letting him through, but you can't let this character through. Letting this character through is basically a genuine loss already if he's unchecked. And it looks like this game he went unchecked, but we'll see. You were blamed in this game. What? No, I'm busy. Whatever, I'm gonna ignore that. This game you were blamed for not healing. You were flamed in VC. Another part of me thinks that the port isn't healing. In T's positioning, Spider-Man screaming in VC. All right, let's deal with this. Let's deal with this. Again, this whole game could be completely okay. First issue. I'm gonna say this very straight. So as a support main, this is your job. Very important. Hold on. We're gonna go through this right now. You cannot do this ever. I know people do it all the time as supports and like they don't care. When there are server admin or characters, and I don't even say server admin. When there are characters that exist within the game that warp the game state so hard that change how the entire game is played or demand resources from a team that your team usually is not willing to provide in a uncoordinated environment, which is basically solo queue, you cannot let them through. Hawkeye is that character right now. Hawkeye is that main character, and then the second one is Gambit. Hawkeye because he's Hawkeye, and if you don't run good dive versus him, or you don't out snipe him, like I said, he will just start killing people, and he'll force your supports and DPS to play much more passive than they usually would, and give the enemy team just free pressure from just existing in the game and the threat of a one shot. If your team is better to dive, right, you could argue, oh, maybe we just dive the Hawkeye. But then what happens if the enemy team just switches to triple support and peels the Hawkeye and lets him go to town? You just still lose. You do not want to let Hawkeye through, okay? So, when it comes to bans, I'm going to say this is the first misplay you have in this game, all right? You cannot be passive with your bans. Unless you're smurfing, you just don't give a crap if you lose. This is your responsibility as a player to vote. And if you have a mic, feel free to let your team know what you need gone. Because your team, unfortunately in this case, is not smart enough to recognize that you should never be banning Gambit first. The enemy team is not smart either, right? But you should never ban Gambit first. Why? Because Gambit is a mutually assured destruction ban. Gambit is a ban where both teams will always ban him second. He will always be the second ban for both teams unless one team wants to play him. So you always save Gambit as your second ban. That's just a general rule of thumb. Very simplistic way of thinking about it. You never ban Gambit first. When you see your teammates banning Gambit first, by the way, you should always vote to ban. But when you see your teammates banning Gambit like this, you need to throw up the Hawkeye vote or whoever the character is in the game that has that level of agency. You should never be not voting to ban. That is the first misplay, major misplay of just character in, we'll say, champion select agency. Okay? We haven't even gotten to the actual gameplay yet, but that is really huge. I see a lot of support players do that. They just don't ban. They don't vote. So now, Gambit is gone. You have to get Hawkeye, by the way. You have to get Hawkeye. Hela does not matter. Hela is annoying as hell, and she's very, very strong. But Hawkeye will completely take over a lobby. Hela is you don't die instantly to Hela, but you will die instantly to Hawkeye. And okay, we let Hawkeye through. All right, let's see. So this game might just be a mess because you let Hawkeye through. But he may have not even been in the game. We'll see. I'm going to see how this goes. Oh, no, he's going to be in this game. Oh, yeah, he's going to be in this game. Yep, he's going to be in this game, all right. All right, let's see how you handle this. Because you let this guy in. And it's not just totally on you, right? But you can't afford to let a character with this much agency in your game. Okay? We're gonna see what you do. I really need to put that emote on my character soon. Anyway, let's see how you handle this. Okay, so what are you running? You've got a triple support comp. Okay, and a Strange as your main tank. All right, let's see how this goes. Okay, so real fast, don't do that. Okay, and usually you would do this, but you don't. You don't do this on Convoy when you're on attack. Why don't you do this on Convoy on attack? Because if the enemy if they have a Strange, the Strange can just open a portal at the same time you do this and kill your whole team when you walk out. You never do this ever. You do that on Domination, because on Domination you know there's no threat of anybody killing you and your team. Okay, all right. Let's see how we play this. Okay. Okay, your positioning is a little weird here. Let's see if you adjust it. Okay, you did. Good job. Okay, now you need to be looking. Okay, so second thing. Hope you have your headset on or whatever and you're listening to shots. If you hear shots, you should probably hear Hawkeye shooting, and then you should immediately be scared when you start hearing like certain sounds of shots. Okay. Okay. All right. You died to not Hawkeye, but let's look at this. Okay, bubble here for sure instantly on this Strange. Okay, bubble immediately now for these two. Okay, the bubble could have been a little bit to the left, but it's fine. Okay, that guy should walk in the bubble. He's an idiot, by the way. There's literally a bubble right next to him that if he walks in, I want to see this guy's perspective. This guy an idiot? Let's see. There's a bubble to his right. He literally can walk left. He can literally walk in the bubble. This guy might be a moron. he can literally walk in the bubble. Okay. You should walk in your own bubble also, by the way, because it's going to heal you. You shouldn't stand out in the open like this. But you die, whatever. It happens. Still dealing with Hawkeye problems. And your team's going to fall apart because you're dead. Alright, let's try again. Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay.
Thanks for the love.
Oh, and you're a PC. You really should let Hawkeye through. Alright, whatever. Okay. Alright, so one thing I'm seeing is you're doing a lot of jumping, but you're not like that's just not a big deal. Spider-Man's dead. See, like if you walk up, you're just gonna die to the lobby. Yeah, this guy. This is just a weird situation. You're so reliant on your team killing things, and this is just not a. It's just a very hard game. You should have got hit with that, but whatever. Again, this game is coming down to you shouldn't let this character in your game. That's really what it's coming down to. Because you can't really play the game like normal when they have Hawkeye. Because his one shot is just going to change the nature of the game. It's the problem. You need like double shield tanks and like somebody to check the Hawkeye. Nobody's checking this Hawkeye. He's just getting free reign. This isn't a heal problem. This is a, yeah. I'll be real with you, I'm probably going to end this replay and go to something else. Because your problem is you let this fucking character in the game. You're going to die to him if he actually shoots you. This is a bad ult, by the way. This is a really bad ult. Why is this a bad ult? One, Hawkeye can knock your dome off. Number two, you ulted first, which gives a... And you ulted too far away. So there's a lot wrong here, but you should just instantly die. Okay, alright, so let's talk about it real fast. Again, this whole game is scuffed because Hawkeye's in the game. That's one of your big... So you can't play the game right. But, I'm going to tell you right now, you do not ult from this far back. This is a very bad ult. Look at this. Okay, we're going to walk through this. You ult from here. Okay, this first dash, who does this healing or damaging? Okay? This second dash, who is really getting healed or damaged? Your Venom is dead. Your Squirrel Girl is dead, so this is a 5v6, by the way. Okay? 4v6, I mean. Okay? This Sue is not very smart. She should not have ulted here. I don't even know what that's about. But whatever. Grandmaster. Okay. And as a result, your ult is going to get absolutely nothing done. It's way too far back to get anything done anyway if it was trying to get something done. And also at the same time, you get bailed out because this Sue is just awful and ulted this in a 5v. If I was on mic, I'd be kind of upset with this Sue because I'd be like, Venom's dead. They just had someone else die. The cloak ulted from super far away and not even on the point. Why are we ulting this as Sue? We can heal through this. Not to mention, if this cloak ults like this, we have a Hawkeye. Hawkeye can literally walk over, look at her face, because she's the only threat here. And she's not even a threat, but look at her and be like, and she dies instantly. So I don't know why the Sue ulted. But enough of complaining about the Sue. Back to you. You can't ult like this versus Hawkeye. Because he will just knock your block off. If this was a better Hawkeye, he just knocks your block off right here. You don't even get this ult through. Because when you finish this ult, either A, when you ult, he shoots you in the head and you die. Or B, when you finish your ult, he shoots you in the head and you die. They didn't even need a support ult here. They just need to play Hawkeye. And kill your ass. This is just... And I think your ult fades, or you're not even standing in your ult. Secondary thing, if you're going to have the Ice Cloak and Dagger skin, heads up. I mean, not heads up. I think you should always run it because being able to see your ult more clearly is so powerful. This purple, red, I mean, it's obviously not purple for you. It's like black, it's like red for you, whatever. But it's like purple, brown, blackish. It's like blackish purple for you. It's harder to see this than versus the ice because I don't think you're even standing in it right now. And you just die here after this. That was like a panic ult. But again, the reason you can't win this game is because they have a Hawkeye. That's literally why you can't win this game. Don't let that character in the game. Because the whole game is just scuffed. So this is a waste of a replay. Because he's just unchecked. He's 8-1. He's 8-1, 5 final hits. He hasn't ulted once. Your team is just dying to him. That's all it is. And yes, you can say, oh, Jean has kills and Elsa has kills. That is true. But this Hawkeye is providing the pressure that is letting all this bullshit even happen. Because you can't really play the game the way it's meant to be played. Because you have to play cover so much versus him. Your cover is a... Yeah. Because like you have to play so scared. You should be playing a lot closer than this, and I'm probably going to need to send you a video on like how to play more aggressive. But you can't even play aggressive in a game like this because you're versus Hawkeye. So I'm not even going to wear this replay is useless. All right, so I'm going to try a different replay real fast because this replay is actually it's worthless because you're playing as Hawkeye. Don't let this character in your games, okay? General rule of thumb. Don't let that character in your games. All right, let's see what else you got. Oh my God, your shit's hidden. Okay, I'm going to need you to get another replay, send it to me, but this one's worthless because you let Hawkeye through. Don't let this character in your game. It just don't... maybe after his nerf it'll be a little bit better, but don't let the character in your game. The character is not okay. He warps the entire game state. You will be in some hot shit. That's that. That's all I can give you because this replay is worthless because you let Hawkeye through. And I'm not saying just you, but I'm saying this character being in this game means everything else changes about the game. Look at it. This guy is 18-5. He has 13 final hits. This guy is 27-3. Okay, 27-3, 14 final hits. So this guy got more final hits and less kills. This guy got whatever you want to call it, final hits and like more kills. It doesn't make any sense. Just don't let this character in. I'm gonna end it here, and probably tell you on the Reddit post that I can't do anything with this because you love the Hawkeyes in this game. And it's not just not just you, but he's in the game and it warps the entire game. It makes it worthless basically because it becomes more of a thing of can your team stop Hawkeye and not are you playing